Roger couldn't help wondering how much Warnya had to pay attention to each other to condescend to personally open the door to a young man of the same age. Could this be the man Warnya liked? This is the best grandson-in-law that Mr. Song misses? It looks like it must be him. Thinking of this, Roger's face was extremely gloomy, and his heart was so angry. He observed at Charlie closely, and looked up and down the strange man. Although Charlie looked handsome, demeaned and chic, from the perspective of his clothes, he was an ordinary person who couldn't be more ordinary. Roger estimated that Charlie's clothes and shoes totaled only a few thousand. A few thousand is worth a pair of socks. This kind of person looks like a stinky silk from a bad street. Why does Warnya take him so seriously? Moreover, seeing Warnya's twitchy and shy gesture like a little woman, you don't need to guess, she must be enamored with this rag. Roger's fists were clenched, and the force was too strong, making the entire knuckles a little white. Immediately, he felt that he had nowhere to vent his stomach, so he slammed his fist on the railing and snarled, "DMN. Where's the smelly rag? You dare to steal a woman from me, are you really looking for death?" Some guests coming and going on the second floor suddenly cast doubtful glances, wondering why Roger and Ragnar suddenly became angry. Roger glanced at them coldly and said, "What are you looking at? Get out." Seeing that these guests all turned their heads and dared not look at this place anymore, Roger had a somber face and beckoned to Lu Guang not far away. Lu Guang ran over and asked diligently, "Mr. Wu, what do you want?" Roger pointed to Charlie, who was standing with Warnya in the yard, gritted his teeth and said, "You can check the identity of this kid for me. I want to see how sacred he is." Lu Guang glanced in the direction of Roger's finger, and this glance made him immediately cracked. "Isn't this Charlie? He knows this person when he turns into ashes." The reason why his precious son Lu Ming was carved with a knife on his forehead by Orville was because he offended Charlie. Had it not been for Charlie, Mr. Orville wouldn't have hurt his son. Therefore, Mr. Orville is just the murderer, and Charlie is the culprit. His son's forehead was engraved with the words, "Poor hanging," and became Orus Hill's laughingstock. When he thought of this, he wanted to swallow Charlie alive. However, because he couldn't provoke Mr. Orville, he could only swallow his anger and didn't even dare to let go. Thinking of this, he immediately gritted his teeth and said, "Mr. Wu, this person is called Charlie." Roger asked in a cold voice, "What's the origin of this rag? He dare to move the woman I like. I think he is tired of life." Seeing that Roger was very upset with Charlie, Lu Guang suddenly became ecstatic. He immediately realized that his chance of revenge was here. Therefore, Lu Guang immediately said to Roger, "Mr. Wu, this Charlie is the rubbish son-in-law of the Wilson family. As for the Wilson family, it is just a garbage family on the verge of bankruptcy in Orus Hill." Roger's expression became more gloomy, frowning and asking, "Are you sure he is a son-in-law?" Lu Guang said firmly, "Of course he is." After that, he further explained, "His wife is called Claire, she is very beautiful, and she is the object of a crush on many people in Orus Hill, but in the end she married this rubbish. After this rubbish was transferred to the Wilson family, he washed clothes every day, cooks and sweeps the floor. He is basically a housewife. It is said that the poor are dying, and they are very concerned about this matter. Everyone in Orus Hill knows about this matter." A trace of coldness and anger flashed in Roger's eyes. Before, both he and his father suspected that Warnya's ideal person was most likely the son of Eastcliff's big family. If that's the case, he really doesn't have much competitiveness. But he never expected that all of Warnya's people would turn out to be live-in son-in-laws who are stubborn here. A son-in-law. This proves that Charlie is already married. Furthermore, he is not just waste, a rag, and he is still a husband. If Warnya likes the children of the Eastcliff family, it can barely make sense. However, she actually fell in love with a married man. This is simply ruining the three views. Moreover, he slapped himself in the face. After all, how can he say that he is the progeny of the first family in the south of the Yangtze River? The young master of the Wu family, who has nearly 200 billion in assets, Can't even compare to a son-in-law in front of Warnya? Warnya was so enthusiastic and gentle towards him, but so cold and tough towards himself. This was an insult. Roger felt the humiliation sincerely. He gritted his teeth at Lu Guang and said coldly, "Lu Guang, I will arrange a task for you. If you do it well, I will not treat you badly, but if you do not do it well, don't come to see me in the future." Lu Guang's face was stunned, and he blurted out, "Despite Mr. Wu's orders, Lu Guang will do his best." Roger observed at Charlie in the courtyard, and said coldly, "After a while, you can think of a way. I want you to humiliate and teach Charlie severely in front of Warnya. I want you to do it in front of Warnya. It's best to let him get out of here with his tail in a dingy way." Lu Guang was extremely excited. Isn't this the FC King opportunity for public revenge? Thinking of this, he blurted out excitedly, "Mr. Wu, don't worry, I will go down and meet him soon." At this moment, Lu Guang was extremely excited. He had investigated before that Charlie used some feng shui tricks to fool a bunch of big figures in Orus Hill. Many people respected him as Mr. Wade. Orville, White family, Chin family, and even Song family all regarded Charlie as a guest. Is an existence that Lu Guang simply can't afford. However, Lu Guang feels that he can't afford to offend, but it doesn't mean that the Wu family can't offend him.